disorder is new. It's not a new behavior, it's a new diagnosis. These agencies are the ones stumbling upon this problem, not me, right? I may be treating it, but I'm not the one finding it. So the idea is pooling our resources to try and work with these people in a community to actually make some headway on the problem rather than having this merry-go-round of ineffective treatment. So the three main characteristics of hoarding disorder, the top two are really obvious, right? It's acquiring too many things and having difficulty getting rid of things. And the third component is really about these organizational difficulties, okay? Two parts of the brain that were really overactivated in folks with hoarding disorder. The anterior cingulate cortex and the insula. Now, what do these two parts of the brain do? One involves decision making, okay? The other part of the brain involves spatial awareness, our ability to interact with things and accurately process that information. One of the challenges I have with them is there's very often, and I understand this is part of TV and editing, they will very often present these cases tied up in a neat bow, where like this person was going along and they were fine, and then this trauma happened, and all of a sudden the hoarding problem developed. I gotta say, I don't agree. I think that trauma, like every other mental health condition, does it increase the chances of developing or exacerbating pre-existing health conditions? Absolutely. But does it cause hoarding? No way. I have no evidence of that. So the problem is that other people manage your stuff when you're younger, so you may not realize that this is a problem. Then what happens when we're younger, we move around a lot more. The older we get, the more stationary we become, the more fixed we become. The more fixed you become, the more stuff accumulates. They often believe that they are going to be able to get it under control. You've probably heard this from clients who say, well, once I get the house cleaned up, once I get everything taken care of, once I get my stuff in order, they believe it's going to happen. It's not like they are resigned to saying, wow, my house is always going to be this bad for the rest of my life, and I'm okay with that. So what's the difference? I think there are a couple of key things. One is when we keep clutter accumulates in most of our houses, it's really without thought. It's sort of accidental. You just all of a sudden look over and the kitchen counter's covered. With hoarding, it's very deliberate collecting. It's bringing it in purposefully, looking for that specific item. It's not impairing your quality of life. Clutter, at the end of the day, is something that doesn't look attractive, but rarely impedes your ability to function. But 80% of people with hoarding show absolutely no other OCD symptoms. The way I describe it is I think that hoarding is probably more of like a distant cousin from OCD than it is a direct relative.
This video was brought to you by ServiceMaster of Kalamazoo, your local hoarding experts.